Hey guys, it's Lisa with Are You My Cousin? And it is Thursday, so it's time for another Facebook Live. And thank you guys. This is, I did have to reschedule for later in the day. So I appreciate you guys accommodating that. I think we're probably going to keep it at 3 o'clock on Thursdays for the next little bit anyway. It gives me a little bit extra leeway time for another commitment I have earlier in the day. So if you are just joining me, welcome to our Facebook Live. I'd love it if you would just give me a hello in the comment section, a thumbs up, something to let me know that you can see me and hear me okay. So I am thrilled to be here, and I'm really just kind of amazed. January is kind of plugging along here, and I'm really kind of enjoying getting back and spending a time with you guys each week talking about genealogy. Before we get too far into our topic today, which is going to be talking about frugal genealogy or free genealogy, places to find free genealogy records or places to research for free, I want to ask you that if you have a favorite site that you go to that's free, a favorite technique, a favorite strategy, particularly if it's not kind of the normal ones we do, I'd love it if you would drop it in the comment section so that we can share that with everyone, because I am learning so much from you guys, the readers over at Are You My Cousin, about some of your favorite sites that you like to research at, things I didn't know about, particularly more local type sites. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And like I said, feel free to drop in the comment section. I'm going to drop in a comment for the blog post that talks about that I have for the free websites that I talk about as well. But you guys can read that on your own. I'm going to actually be, we're going to be talking about some other ones and sharing things that you guys have shared with me. Hey, Sherry from Pennsylvania, thank you for joining us. And Deborah's from Sandy Springs, Georgia. Yay, great. It's wonderful. I know you guys can hear me and see me. If you are watching this on the replay, if you're watching this on the YouTube replay specifically, just know that any of the links that I talk about or refer to as being in the comments, you will find them in the description below. So just know that if you are watching that on the YouTube video, you're absolutely welcome to go ahead and leave comments there as well in the YouTube section or on Facebook. Even after this is no longer live, you are more than welcome to do that. I do monitor those comments. So welcome, guys. So let's just dig right in, guys. You guys, if you know me in real life, I'm a very frugal person. It doesn't mean I don't spend money, but I like to make sure I'm getting a really good value. And if I don't need to spend money for something, well, then I'm probably going to figure out how to do it that way too. So what can I say? I like a good sale, I like a good bargain, and I like to save money because I want to save my genealogy dollars to spend it on things that such as DNA test, or maybe I need a research trip that's going to require me to actually go somewhere. So I want to make sure I'm wise in how I spend my money. And from what you guys have told me in the Facebook group, what you guys have just emailed me about, absolutely, you guys are feeling the same thing. So, and particularly with January, just having had those holidays behind us, yeah, it's nice to be able to save a little money as we start to research our genealogy. So absolutely go back and look at the post that I put in there, and you'll find I've got 50 sites that you can go to find free information. And I'm just amazed at how many more are out there. And so I wanted to talk with you about that and share with some of you that some of you guys have shared with me, because I think they're just fascinating, quite frankly. So one of the things that someone shared with me was Shirlene from Texas, and she said, don't forget, if you're doing Texas research, to check the portal to Texas history. There are over 600 collections of records that you can browse through or search through there. So if you have Texas ancestors, you absolutely want to check into that one. And I'm going to grab that link real quick and drop it in the comments so you will have that. Oops, that's not the right one. Okay, I seem to have lost. I'll grab it. I'll get it for you guys. And so that's a fabulous section if you are doing Texas ancestors. I was thinking that even I had it, Texas ancestors, but I don't have any, so it's not helping me out. I will grab that for you. For some reason, I don't have that one pulled up quite yet, but I'll get it there for you. Hey, Melissa from Southern New Jersey, and Debbie from out in Big Bear Lake, California. Hey, guys, thanks for joining me. So yes, so if you are a Texas researcher, go into this portal to Texas history. That's going to, you're going to fare well there. There's just tremendous amount of information. Kay, one of my good friends, Kay, and you guys have probably seen her. She helps me in the Facebook group sometimes here in North Carolina, reminded me about, this is more of a strategy. She said, but the North Carolina State Archives, when we're residents here in the state of North Carolina, we actually can apply to get a library card for the archives. And with that library card, we are able to access some of the databases, not all of the databases, but some of the databases from home. So for instance, I did apply, I got my North Carolina, it's the State Library of North Carolina. That's what it is. So it's your state's library. I was able to get the library card. And with that, I can access actually fold3.com from my home computer. So I don't have to buy a separate subscription to it, because I think it's a fabulous website or in a fabulous database. And quite frankly, if I couldn't get it through the library, then I would actually have a subscription to that one, because it is so crucial into my research. But it's there. Now, that said, even if I couldn't get a library card there, I could actually go to the state library and use their databases on site. So that's another strategy as well. I honestly am not sure if all state libraries do this, but whether it's your state library or your local library, investigate getting that library card so that you can maybe access their databases, some of these genealogy databases, either on site or at, you possibly can get some of them at home. Sometimes they're limited types editions, but that's okay. It still helps with what you're researching. So every little bit helps, right? So explore that idea. The other thing, Becky had a really great idea, again, kind of going along with the county library. She was talking about how the Akron Public Library has a tremendous amount of resources for genealogy research. And I popped over there just to kind of look, because I know that, for instance, our local library has some as well. But some of the databases that they had, I was going to just read them off to you. I wanted to share the screen, but I will be honest, guys, I am using a new software and I was struggling getting the screen share to work properly. So hopefully by next week, I'll have that figured out. But for instance, the Akron Public Library, they have access to Ancestry, the library edition, the American Ancestors, which is the site that's maintained by the New England Historic Genealogical Society. That is a fabulous resource. They are a Family Search affiliate library. That's an important thing. They actually have Find My Past. I think I'm really jealous. So this library in Akron actually has a tremendous number of resources. They have my Heritage Library Edition. Okay, they have a lot more than my library does. So check that local library. You could be surprised at what they have, all for just having a library card. Obviously, you have to qualify to get a library card. You have to be a resident there to get that. But wow, what a resource for those researchers if you're in that Akron, Ohio area. So run, don't walk to your nearest library and see what they have for you. Hey, Jean. Oh, from Michigan. Wow, we are just all over the U.S. That's really great. I'm excited that you guys are here. Okay, so another one on the theme of libraries. I know I love to talk about libraries, and the librarians in the group love this. But guys, the libraries are your best resources. Check the vertical files. Now, this is not necessarily a website, and I've got an entire post on the website about vertical files. But if you're going to go there and check for their databases, go ahead and see what they have in their vertical files or their local history section. Those vertical files can have an amazing amount of information that you would never find in a regular record. Like I said, as I've talked about in the past, and I won't go too far into this, but you can find things like old genealogy researchers' notes. They land there because nobody in the family wanted them. And you can find, I've found copies of photographs. I've seen copies of records. You're not going to find original records, at least you shouldn't, but you'll find copies. Or I've seen handwritten notes about oral history that provided clues to follow up on. So there's just a tremendous amount of information that you can find in those records. So I would absolutely encourage you to check out the vertical files for that. They're free. Now, here's something really important. Check. So local libraries have vertical files, but so do state libraries and even archives. So check to see who has those vertical files And then also check and see if any are potentially digitized and online. Now, typically the answer is no. They're really not that many that are going to be. But I am starting to see some that have been digitized and put online. So some of like the state of North Carolina and the library in their vertical files, they have digitized some of those and put them online. I think they might be on Flickr, or they were at one time. I'd have to go back and look for them. But that's a fabulous resource that if you can find them online, you're golden. I mean, you can just access that information right from your comfortable couch. So be sure and check that. It's a great way to be frugal, not only in your money, but also in your time, because that's an important aspect of this as well. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Now, Dawn from South Carolina, my South Carolina research buddy down there. So she had a great suggestion. And I can't believe I really didn't think to include this, but legacy. If you are looking for obituaries from, say, like more modern ones, so from 2000 up to current times, she uses Legacy. I believe it's legacy.com. I'll drop that link in there for you. Legacy.com. And she said that a lot of times is the only place that she can find a more modern obituary for someone, if she's doing more maybe descendant research as opposed to ancestor research. And she uses that quite a bit, and they're free. She said if one of the obituaries you're interested in has been archived, that it does cost a little bit. I think it's about $2 to $3, but a very minimal cost there if you found one that you needed to get that had already been archived. I have not used the site enough to know how long they keep them live before they put them in the archives. So, but what a great resource when you're trying to track down more descendants and more what I call modern family members, modern ancestors. Great resource. I'm absolutely going to add that to my genealogy toolbox. Mary mentioned Google, among other things. Oh, yes, I do love Google. Google, just a search engine. Okay, you'd be amazed what you can find just using Google. And I've written articles in the website. If you just go Google search, how to search, you will find some articles on getting better search results for your genealogy research, but also things like Google Books and Google Maps. Those are free resources that we can use as part of our genealogy research. I think sometimes we forget about those. And you guys know I love Google Books. They actually were excited and had me featured as one of their featured users on their 15th anniversary of Google Books. So that was really exciting. But yes, I love Google Books. Hey, Kelly, so glad to have you. Okay. And Janice, Janice also mentioned Google Books. Yes, I just can't say enough about Google Books. Great way and a great resource. And you can find an entire article on the blog about that. Let's see. Oh, so Josephina had a really good, interesting thing. So a lot of you had mentioned to me one of your favorite ones is actually findagrave.com. And yes, I use Find a Grave a lot, or I think there's even billions graves. And it is fabulous. But she also reminded me, and I just had sort of forgotten about this, check out basically state level type websites for that. So Find a Grave obviously is worldwide, but a lot of times states have smaller databases that might include the same, but they might include other cemeteries that have not been surveyed yet and not up on Find a Grave, because Find a Grave is user submitted, and most of these databases are like that. So, but there are some state level ones, and one of the ones that I use a lot, and it's in the post, is cemeterycensus.com. And that's not necessarily a state level, although the gentlemen who started it are from North Carolina. And so there are a lot of North Carolina cemeteries there that you are not necessarily on Find a Grave. And so that's a really good resource to use in addition. So I would encourage you, you can Google these things, North Carolina cemetery censuses, things like that, to see what's out there for your state or your county. Very important resource for you to get to. And I loved it because they were so gracious and put the things on cemeterycensus.com. They've widened, they definitely cover other states, but these guys are really the guys typically who coordinated all that, have great location information, and it's very easy to find if you need to go out on your own to find those grave sites. If you want to visit family cemeteries, very easy to do. They were typically very thorough with the research as well. So highly encourage you to check those out. Arizona is another example that has a state that has a state level one as well that Josephina recommended. So be sure and check what your state might have. Okay, guys, so are you guys, I know you guys are in there over here telling me hello, and I'm so excited. Do you guys have, oh, I didn't mean to do that, sorry. Do you guys have any favorite ones? Pop one in that maybe I haven't mentioned. Again, I've got 50 of them over on the website, but I'd love to hear some of those that maybe are a little lesser known, or just what your particular favorite one is. If there's one that you are particularly successful with your sites, even if it's a local one, I think that's so helpful, because just as Josephine mentioned, the Arizona state had a good cemetery census at the state level. And Charlene talked about the Portal of Texas History. So helpful, guys, to those. And I think as we are in the genealogy world, we know how helpful everybody is, and that everybody has such a good idea. And it's amazing when we start to sit and talk. It doesn't really matter what level of your research you're at, whether you're kind of beginning, whether you've been at it for a number of years. Everybody's helpful, and everybody has something to contribute. And I love learning about all these little databases that I might not have known about previously. So for example, one of the ones that I enjoy using is actually because I research in North Carolina, I have a lot of Baptist heritage in my background. And so there's actually at Wake Forest University, a database for, that's where the kind of the Baptist history, the Baptist, a lot of records are for old Baptist churches. So some of that is online, some of it's not, but it's wonderful to be able to go and check that out. And you might not know that if you were living in another state, you might not realize where those records could be found. So I think that's just one of the best things about having you guys out there and researching on the ground, because you guys can share those records as well. So that's what I have for you today, guys. As I said, love to hear from you guys. Feel free afterwards. You're absolutely welcome to drop comments in this later. I will be uploading a copy of this, a replay of this, to YouTube. So if you've got, I know not everybody's on Facebook, and I'm hoping to get to the point where I can actually do live on both so that nobody is left out. Feel free, guys, share this video with others. I'd love to have other people find the Are You My Cousin website. I'd love to be able to chat with them as well and have them join us on our videos as well. Okay, hey, Deborah. So you're from Madison County, Iowa. So she's got, oh, great. She put in a link for us that has pretty much everything we need. I'm going to check that out right now. Actually, let me see if I can get hold of it. All right. As you can tell, guys, I am working on new, she's given us a new, it's a gin website. Perfect for Madison. So up in the Iowa area. So wonderful. That's good to know. This is a good point. And I talk a little bit about this on the website, but this GenWeb, when you see GenWeb, those are usually really good sources of information, and they'll have a lot of free stuff for you as well. It is typically user submitted, so it can vary in how much information you get, but I always check out the US Gen websites, and for the local, the state level as well as the county level information. So thank you so much, Deborah, for showing that and sharing that with us as well. Debbie had a great idea. Facebook of the surname. Absolutely. So there are a lot of Facebook groups out there, and there's so many Facebook. In fact, it's almost impossible to join all the ones that would probably benefit you. But what she's saying is a surname Facebook group. Just like you might find Facebook groups that are county level. So maybe it's the genealogy of, say, I'm part of the Halifax County, Virginia Facebook group. Well, I could join one, say one of the names that I research frequently is Talbot, my maiden name, and I could search out and find a Facebook group for the researchers of the Talbot surname. And that would bring me not just local Virginia, North Carolina researchers, but the surname around the world, perhaps, or at least in the US. So that would be a great place to join and talk. And it might also lead to new clues and new places to seek out information. So that's a great idea, Debbie. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. See, you guys are just fabulous because you always teach me something new. And then sometimes remind me of things I've forgotten. Okay, guys. So again, go ahead. Feel free to put something else in there if you want to. Coming up, hey, Joan, how are you? So coming up, I am fast in the process of getting ready for Roots Tech. You'll be hearing more about Roots Tech Conference on the website coming up in February. And I will plan on doing Facebook Lives from Roots Tech while I'm there. That is the end of February. So you'll be hearing more information on that. So that'll be fun. I've never done Facebook Lives kind of on site like that. So I'm looking forward to it. But looking forward to doing that. Looking forward to bringing you some information about Roots Tech. If you are going to Roots Tech, watch the Facebook page, Facebook group. I will be doing kind of a roll call. I'd love to know who of the Are You My Cousin community is going to be there, because I think it would be really cool to meet you guys. And feel free to send in questions. If you are not going, start thinking about questions you might have for vendors. So questions that you might have for, Ancestry or Find My Past, or even smaller vendors. Vivid Pics, you guys know how much I love Vivid Pics, and they're going to be there. If you have questions for any of those guys or someone that you're not sure is going to be there, let me know, because I will be happy to go through that vendor hall and ask people questions for you. So I will be creating a form for that. So watch for that to come out, because I like to kind of try to keep it as organized as I can. But that's really a lot of what I do. I spend a lot of time going vendor to vendor and talking big ones, little ones, and getting questions asked and seeing what I can find out for you guys. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, Debbie's going. Yay. I'm so excited. Debbie's going. I know I've got quite a few folks who are going to be there as well. If you're going, just so you know, I am talking twice while we're there. Oh, Deborah. Yes. She's talking about archive.org. Yes, that is a fabulous free website. You definitely want to check that out as well. I think it's also called Internet Archive. Wonderful source for family histories. I find city directories there. I find yearbooks there, all kinds of great things that you can find there. And it's a fabulous source for a lot of historical type things that are not even genealogy related. So if you have other interests as well, it's a great place to go as well. Melissa, so jealous I'm going to Roots Tech. Oh, yes, Roots Tech. She said she'll be watching. That's a good point. You can actually watch. They do live stream parts of Roots Tech, and they are fabulous speakers. Everyone I've listened to from a live stream, they're fabulous. You definitely want to listen to the keynote speakers when they live stream those. They are wonderful. Absolutely love to listen to those. So yeah, wonderful. You'll be hearing more from me about that as I get a little bit closer. And I'm really excited to be sharing that with you. All right, guys. So I will see you next week here on Facebook for our Facebook Live. It will be at 3:00. So again, I'm moving the times a little bit because I have an earlier commitment in the day, and I was just getting pushed. I didn't want to cut anybody short in either platform. So that's what we'll be doing. All right, guys, have a great day, and I will see you next week. Bye.